Hello and welcome to another Movie Reviews by Benjamin. Today I'll be reviewing Red 2, the sequel from a few years ago to Red 1. Red, of course, standing for Retired and Extremely Dangerous. This is bringing all the old spies back from their glory days, and now they're back in action. We have Bruce Willis, of course, is the main star here. Mary Louise Parker, who plays his girlfriend. She was also returning from the first movie. John Malkovich, kind of the fan favorite. He's their friend who's coming back. This time they're out to... John Malkovich and Bruce Willis have been set up, and they're saying that they took place in a Operation Nightshade. Again, kind of like some of the last few films I've reviewed. The trailer's going to give away quite a bit of the plot, which I really wish they wouldn't do. But there are some nice little twists and turns in there. It's nothing that you can't see coming if you're an avid movie watcher. But there are some kind of things in there that kind of really make it different than what you think is going to happen. So it's kind of nice to see that. Anthony Hopkins, of course, is in this one. Helen Mirren is in it again as well. So it's kind of nice to see her. Kind of a strange theme going on in this film where you have you have your set good guys, your set bad guys, and then over time all the bad guys are turning into good guys and helping out the other good guys. And it almost gets to a point where there's no bad guys left, and you're kind of like, what's going on? Of course, that's where one of the twists comes in. For those of you who have seen any movies with any of these actors before, you can kind of tell who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. Anthony Hopkins actually really does give a good performance in this one. Of course, he's pretty much always golden in movies. We always love his films since Silence of the Lambs. Everything since then has usually been excellent. John Malkovich's character is just so crazy, so off the wall, but that's kind of what makes him so funny. He really delivers in this one. He's just such an odd character in real life and in person, John Malkovich, so it was good to see him on screen again. Of course, Bruce Willis kind of plays his tough self with a little bit of kind of throws some funny humor in there. And then Mary Louise Parker, she's just very, they could have cast anybody for that role. She's just always has kind of those big, deer in the headlight look, and she wants adventure. She kind of leads a boring life. She wants some adventure in her life. She gets her own gun and kind of goes crazy with that for a while, but her performance doesn't really grab you. This movie's brought to us by Dean Parisot, who mostly, if you'll look up any of his history, he's pretty much only ever done TV stuff. There was a movie called Fun with Dick and Jane a few years ago with Jim Carrey. He directed that one, and then he also directed a movie called Galaxy Quest back in 1999. Really good comedy, but of course, that was quite a few years ago now. But yeah, mostly sticks to TV. Went out of his way to do Red 2 here. Might want to stick to TV again after this one. Red 2, the first one that we watched a few years ago, just really, it was something different. You had all these older actors, fighting the younger actors. They were ex-spies. It was really cool, great idea. This one kind of just builds off of that and keeps going, kind of plateaus out. It doesn't really build up. First one was, if I remember correctly, it was all set in the U.S. This one they're jumping around to Paris and England and a couple different places over in Europe, but it's the locales are great, but it just doesn't really pop like the first one did. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Red 2 a 6 out of 10. This is definitely something that I would have people watch, especially if they like the first one. But like I said, it just doesn't pop. Special effects, kind of neither here nor there. It's not something that, like I said, that's really going to stand out. Of course, you got the summer blockbusters, big budget movies. This one here was just shot for $84 million, and so far, after I believe maybe a week of it being out, it's at $25 million. So that's definitely not where it wants to be. Hopefully they can kind of step it up. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for Red 2, just because it doesn't have brings anything huge to the table. Like I said, if you're a fan of the original, definitely go check it out. There's a few laughs, there's a few good times, but for the most part, it's just kind of like I said, that first one really built it up. It was so cool to see these older people, finding younger people and doing their gadgets and all this stuff, and this one really just plateaus out. So hopefully I'll be able to step it up. I will be going to see The Wolverine tonight. Very excited for this one. I've heard great things about it so far. It's been out for just a day. Going to see it tonight. Should have a review of it up Monday by noon. So definitely look forward to that. I'm excited for that one. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook at Movie Reviews by Benjamin. And of course here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, check me out. One last thing I was going to throw in there real quick. My review scale, my 1 to 10, is kind of a little bit, it kind of limits me on what I can do and not do, so I'm going to kind of start doing it a little bit different. The highest, of course, will be a 10, and I'm going to start doing a decimal system where I'll be doing like a 4.6 or 8.2s, things sort of like that. It gives me a little bit more freedom because, quick rundown of the scale, 1 to 3 is just going to be absolute garbage. It's going to be, don't waste your time. 4 to 6 will be a recommendation to go see it, not necessarily see it on the big screen. Definitely don't waste your money and watch it on 3D. 7 to 9, of course, will be something that's really good. I definitely want you to go out and check it out. And then, of course, I have yet to give anything a 10 out of 10. That'll be a perfect film. Brings you, everything that you want. So that's a quick rundown of the scale. And instead of doing, 3 out of 10, because there are some movies that I'd really like to get a little bit deeper into. So that's what we'll be doing from now on. Like I said, Wolverine, the review should be up on Monday. And until then, I will see you at the movies.